Welcome back to our Small Business Certified AI Strategist program. If you've just finished Module 1, you already have a good sense of what I do at Strata 52 and why we're focused on the small business market for this certification and how you can benefit from building an AI agency in this market. In this module, we're going to review agency foundations. We'll explore the essential pillars of building an AI agency that will help small businesses streamline their operations. We'll discuss the various archetypes of the AI agencies that exist today. We'll review our approach to problem solving, methodologies for selecting and positioning yourself in the right market, how to package and price your services, and finally, how to structure your agency for long-term growth or even a future exit if that's your ambition. Now, a key element at this stage is understanding the competitive landscape. You'll find that AI consulting agencies typically fall under three broad categories. First, you have custom AI engineering agencies, or you have off-the-shelf AI tool specialists, and then you have automation specialists. After exploring these categories, I'll show you how an AI agency, like the one that we're teaching you to build during this certification, how it maintains a tool-agnostic focus on delivering business outcomes. So let's jump in. When people hear the term AI agency, they might picture any number of different operations. But for the most part, agencies today land in one of three buckets. First is the custom AI engineering agency. These agencies typically deal with bespoke AI solutions like predictive modeling or the deployment of on-prem large language models. These agencies can handle highly specialized needs, but they often come with bigger budgets, lengthier timelines, and a heavier technical overhead. Essentially, these agencies, they operate on the mindset of we can solve everything with custom code. And they'll even typically showcase their expertise by referencing the number of PhDs on their team or their experience working with recognizable brands. Second, you have the off-the-shelf AI tool specialist. These individuals, they focus on leveraging existing platforms like ChatGPT or HeyGen or 11 Labs. These off-the-shelf solutions, they typically deliver results more quickly and at a lower cost, though they may be constrained by each platform's inherent limitations. Their underlying philosophy is we'll plug in existing AI tools and get you fast results. These agencies, they love to prove their capabilities on social media, showcasing the new off-the-shelf AI tools any chance they get. And finally, you'll come across automation specialists, sometimes referred to as RPA agencies. They excel in using platforms like Make.com, N8N, UiPath, or Zapier to streamline repetitive tasks. The ROI of these tools can be rapid, but these solutions typically address process automation more than sophisticated machine learning or deep learning. The approach for these agencies is we can automate everything with low-code or no-code platforms. On LinkedIn, you can spot these agencies because they'll post these really complex workflows as lead magnets, and they'll say things like, comment revenue and I'll DM you this blueprint. And annoyingly, for some reason, many of these companies like to advertise how much money they're pulling in. You see, all of these agencies, they all have their own strengths. They can be very profitable ventures in the near term, but each tends to see the world through its own specialty. A custom AI shop, for example, will always lean towards custom development, while an RPA specialist might frame everything as an automation problem. What businesses really want, though, what your customers really want, is a partner who can deliver the right outcomes regardless of the tool. That's where focusing on building a business's AI stack stands out, by staying tool agnostic. By staying tool agnostic, the business's AI stack will be built by evaluating multiple paths and by picking the solutions most likely to yield strong ROI. And this type of agency, the agency that helps businesses build their own AI stack, will allow you to adapt to the dynamic, evolving AI marketplace. You'll be able to create a business that can adapt to innovation while also being built upon rock-solid fundamentals. Now, I want to mention that throughout this course, you'll notice that I tend to shift the conversation away from problems that businesses have, and instead, I talk about the opportunities for AI integration. I do this because by focusing on what's possible rather than what's broken, we open the door to more positive and creative discussions. Now, again, as an overview, throughout this certification, you're going to gain specific playbooks, tools, and processes that will help you accomplish several objectives. First, you'll learn how to uncover opportunities by examining a client's current processes, identifying their pain points, and spotting operational gaps where AI can add substantial value. Second, you'll prioritize these opportunities based on ROI potential, feasibility, and alignment with the client's strategic goals, ensuring the most impactful items rise to the top. And then lastly, you'll help the client determine the best path for each opportunity, whether it's custom AI or off-the-shelf platform or an RPA approach. By taking this tool agnostic stance, you'll become a trustworthy advisor instead of a vendor pushing one particular technology. And all of this, everything that you'll learn, is going to culminate into a 12-month AI roadmap that you'll deliver to your client, which clearly outlines the initiatives a client should tackle first, along with the budget estimates and the expected outcomes. This roadmap then serves as a practical action plan for the upcoming year. After delivering this roadmap, your role should evolve into becoming a long-term advisor for the business, usually where you're paid on a monthly basis, where you guide the client through implementation, ensuring that each opportunity is successfully executed. This approach appeals to small businesses, especially because they often crave clarity and direction around AI. By helping them prioritize real business outcomes and selecting the ideal solution, you can set the stage for an ongoing partnership and recurring revenue for your growing agency, all while giving them tangible wins in a manageable timeframe. Next, let's talk about market selection and positioning. One of the most effective ways to stand out as an AI strategy consultant is to niche down by industry or by function. This allows you to establish deep expertise, deliver solutions faster, and build up a library of repeatable processes. If you already have connections in a particular field, say IT services, manufacturing, or supply chain, that might be the easiest place for you to start. Otherwise, you can specialize in a particular function, like helping marketing teams become AI-assisted marketers or guiding HR departments through automation and analytics. I also suggest to avoid heavily regulated industries initially, so that way you don't get bogged down with the compliance issues or extended sales cycles like healthcare, banking, etc. Over time, you can move into these more complex industries, but I recommend building momentum first. Now, when it comes to the type of AI projects you take on, you'll generally choose between project-based AI or operational AI. Project-based AI involves embedding artificial intelligence directly into someone's product, which can be exciting, but it also carries the risk that the product might never launch, or if it's a startup, the startup might run out of funding. Operational AI, on the other hand, it tackles internal business processes like reducing costs, boosting efficiency, and uncovering quick wins. From a profitability and stability perspective, I recommend that you focus on building an agency around operational AI, especially in this small business market, where immediate ROI is absolutely critical to these business owners. Now, for the middle market and enterprise opportunities, the market that we typically serve at Strata 52, these dynamics, they change. You'll face tougher competition and longer sales cycle processes. And it's not uncommon to chase enterprise clients for a year before getting them across the finish line. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't go after big clients. You can still do that, but it helps to build credibility with the small business or the middle market businesses first. Ultimately, you will be positioning yourself by highlighting return on investment. You'll be speaking to things like cost savings, the revenue gains, and the efficiency improvements that the business will get by implementing your AI strategy. And remember, at the core of this is the AI stack, and your agency will be tool agnostic with the firepower of 500 engineers at your beck and call. And that's another strong selling point that differentiates you from the other agencies that are locked in on a single solution or trying to solve every automation problem with a workflow. Now, let's address how your agency can make money, and let's walk through a straightforward but powerful way to package and price your AI agency services. The classical model that I recommend is really twofold. First is the value-based project fees for the initial roadmap, and then second is a monthly or quarterly retainer for ongoing implementation and management. So, why do I say value-based pricing? Rather than billing by the hour where your earnings may be capped and every minute must be justified, value-based pricing allows you to align your fee with the results that you deliver. For instance, if your AI solutions or your proposed AI stack will solve a $10 million business problem, but you only charge $100,000, you might be leaving money on the table. That said, value based doesn't mean that you can ignore your underlying costs. You still need to track internal hours, expenses, and any subcontractor fees to ensure your projects remain profitable. Ultimately, your goal is to deliver significant value to your clients while protecting your margin. Now, let's dig into the AI roadmap. The AI roadmap will be a fixed price project level engagement. And here's how to price it. First, I recommend reverse engineering your cost. Once you learn how to build an AI roadmap, try to figure out how much time you're going to be spending on this roadmap and building out this roadmap. You need to account for things like research and stakeholder interviews and discovery sessions and creating the final strategy. And then also include any incidentals, like are you going to be traveling to these locations? Will you have to stay the night? Will there be virtual assistant fees or any other necessary expenses? And then once you have your costs that will be associated with executing and delivering a valuable AI strategy to this client, determine your profit margin so you ensure that you're comfortable with the difference between your cost and your final price. So you might be wondering what's reasonable in today's market. And I'm going to give you a range. What's reasonable for AI road mapping at the small business level is you can reasonably charge between $5,000 and $20,000 for an AI roadmap, depending on the business's complexity. This roadmap, the creation process, it'll typically take 3 to 4 weeks to deliver, given the departmental interviews and the data reviews involved. And a common payment structure for this is 50% upfront and 50% upon completion, which helps manage the cash flows and ensures commitments from both sides. Now, everything that you'll have to do during this 3 to 4 week to go from the initial closing of the first contract to delivering the AI roadmap, you're going to learn every single tool that we use. Even when we use tools like ChatGPT and Claude, I'm going to give you every single prompt. I'm going to give you every single template. That's what you're here to learn. So just realize that there's money to be made at this project level. And what your goal is to make sure that you cover your costs and you make a profit when you're putting together your package for your business's AI roadmap. Now, once you've created your roadmap and once your roadmap is finalized, that's when you move into a different phase of your business. This phase is where the real work begins, where you put the plan that you've put together, you put that into action. This is where the scope of work will transition from project level, where you got paid for the roadmap, to a retainer basis for continued support. To transition from the project level engagement to a new scope of work with a retainer involved, you'll need to outline exactly what you're going to be doing on a regular basis for this business. And at a high level, the things that you're going to do is you're going to help them with implementation. You're going to guide their teams through this AI tool integration and process change. And then you're going to provide them with ongoing advice. You're going to help them with continued strategic and technical insights as business conditions evolve or new data becomes available. Now, I'll dig into the details of implementation in a future module, but retainers can range from $2,000 a month upwards of $10,000, $15,000 a month, depending on the scope of the approved roadmap and the client's budget. This structure, it provides you with a predictable recurring revenue stream while giving the client peace of mind that an expert is there to help and is always on hand. The purpose of this retainer relationship is for you to make sure that the roadmap that you've designed is executed and is being implemented inside the business. So educating employees is key to this implementation step. Now, moving from a project level engagement to a retainer engagement, there is a little bit of a dance involved. And one effective tactic is bundling a portion of the roadmap fee into the implementation phase. And one of the things that we like to do sometimes at Strata 52 is taking the roadmap fee and crediting the client in the implementation phase a fraction of that roadmap fee if they decide to move forward with an ongoing engagement in the implementation phase. This approach, it really incentivizes your client to maintain a longer term relationship with you, and it ensures that all your upfront work in the roadmap phase transitions seamlessly into real world results. Small businesses, they often will hesitate to invest in a standalone plan or just a strategic document because they're afraid it will just stay on their desk, that they're going to be paying for just a presentation. If you package together an actionable roadmap plus some hands-on implementation support after the strategic roadmap is put together, you can present a more compelling value proposition. So what do I mean by this? I'll give you an example. Let's say you win a new client and the client agrees to pay you $10,000 for an AI roadmap, which would be a reasonable price. Upon executing the agreement, you can take half of that roadmap fee that you charge the client and agree in advance to apply something like 50% of the roadmap fees, so that'd be $5,000, as a credit towards implementation. But really, it's up to you, and you can do what works best for you and your business. But this is just an example of what works well for converting clients from project-based roadmaps to a recurring retainer client. By establishing credibility with a strong roadmap, you'll position yourself as the trusted advisor who sees the project through, deepening your relationship with the client and creating additional revenue opportunities. Beyond road mapping and the implementation retainers, you can further diversify your agency revenue. And there are a few common streams that are worth mentioning. So first is the road mapping revenue, which is project-based revenue. We say that that's between $5,000 and $20,000. Then we have the implementation revenue, which is on a recurring retainer, a recurring basis. That's $2,000 to $10,000 or more per month. And then we have engineering services. So when you put together your roadmap, you're going to have to figure out how do you actually build out some of these custom AI solutions that you're envisioning or these workflows. So you have the ability to outsource that work effectively to Strata 52, and you get a 15% referral fee from us for referring that business directly to us. An additional opportunity for you is if you want to run that through your own business, what you can do is find your own team of engineers and manage that team, develop that team, and so on. And you can mark up their services from there. A 20% markup on engineering work is something that is feasible. Now, an additional revenue stream is referral fees. If you have a client that you've won, and whether you're too busy or whether you're just really great at sales and you want to earn commission or a percentage off of winning that client, you have the ability to effectively subcontract that client out to somebody else like Strata 52 or somebody else in the community. And typically you can expect to make 15, 20% for a referral fee if you pass that project or client on to another specialist or partner. And then the other revenue stream, which is smaller, but it can add up over time, is affiliate revenue. So one of the things that you can do is if you start to notice that you're recommending tools like Gamma or Clay or ChatGPT, you can see if these tool providers have an affiliate program, and you can sign up as an affiliate, and effectively you could get 10 to 30% on a recurring evergreen basis of the fees that your client will pay them by subscribing to these off-the-shelf tools. So those are additional revenue streams that will help you create stability inside of your agency and will build value in your agency. As you structure your AI agency, be sure to factor in these revenue streams and determine which ones make the most sense for your passions, your skill set, and your client base. Now, I've provided a downloadable financial plan template. Use it to map out your target pricing, your time commitments, and your profit margins. Feel free to customize this financial plan as you see fit. This exercise will help you confirm that your chosen services are both compelling to clients and suitable for your business. By taking this approach, you'll build a balanced, profitable portfolio of AI agency offerings, positioning yourself as both a high value strategist and a reliable long term partner to your customers. Finally, let's talk about structuring for growth and exit. Some of you may prefer running a profitable lifestyle business where others might be looking to scale their business so they can be acquired someday or sell the business someday. Whichever path you choose, having an end goal in mind at the outset can really guide your decision making. If you're running a lifestyle business, you can stay small and lean, focusing on high margin deals that let you control your schedule and cash flow. But if you plan to grow and possibly sell your agency, you'll need to track key metrics, standardize your processes, and build consistent recurring revenue. Think of it this way. If you can average $10,000 for a roadmap and earn about $2,000 a month per client for ongoing advisory, that's around $30,000 per year for a client. You need to land 33 or 34 of those recurring clients that can push you into that $1 million in annual revenue, which is a major milestone if you're pursuing an eventual sale. Of course, agencies, they do hit plateaus along the way. One common spot is a few hundred thousand in annual revenue. Another is at a million, a couple million. These plateaus, they usually indicate that it's either time to hire, form partnerships, or restructure the business in order to keep climbing. Now, one of the weird areas for an agency is when you hit that million or $2 million in annual revenue. And at this point, when you're starting out your business, you say, man, I can't wait till I hit a million, $2 million in annual revenue. Everything would be fantastic compared to where I'm at right now. Now, there is something that's worth calling out at this level, especially if the business is profitable. A lot of businesses get stuck here, and they get stuck in the sense that they kind of plateau in terms of their growth. They have a couple years in a row where they hit that million, $2 million number. They're able to pay themselves well. But if you set the goal from the outset that you're going to build this business and sell it someday, then this becomes kind of a hard area to sell the business because the business isn't quite appealing enough for a larger player to come in and acquire that business. So, one of the things that a lot of individuals ignore is, or they genuinely don't think about, is that there might be a collection of other business owners who are offering the similar service that are using a similar methodology like the Strata 52 methodology that we're teaching you right here. Now, what you have the option if you do plateau at that $1, $2 million number is you should consider merging with another agency in this community. Now, what you can do is combine forces and you can grow your books from that $1, $2 million agency to now $3 to $5 million agency or even higher if several of you are joining together. A $10 million consultancy formed by multiple mergers can become very appealing to private equity or bigger tech firms. One of the advantages of everyone here in this community completing the same certification is that we're all using similar SOPs. We're all running our operations with kind of the same thought process, which makes collaboration and merging much more streamlined in the future. So know that merging your business with another business in this community is something that could happen here in the near future. When you're at the point, and we're talking a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, when you're at the point to actually sell your business, you want to figure out how do you attract the attention of potential buyers. The way to do that is genuinely through your metrics, through your numbers. And you'll need to demonstrate consistent revenue growth year over year. Consistent revenue growth year over year is a strong signal of momentum and a solid pipeline. You'll also want to pay attention to a low churn rate. You want to make sure that you don't lose clients if at all possible. And you'll also want to make sure that you have high renewal rates with multi-year contracts that prove reliability. you want to show that you have an EBITDA of north of $1 million or more, and you want to be supported by well-documented processes and robust financials that confirm your scalability. So just to summarize, what you're looking for is consistent year-over-year revenue growth. You're also looking for low churn. So you want to make sure that you don't lose clients if you can help it. You also want to show that you're growing in revenue at the client level. So let's say your first year, if your average client is paying you $30,000 a year, you also want to show that the next year that same client is now paying you 33,000 or 35,000 or 50,000. So you not only want to show the growth of the number of clients that you have, but the average revenue per client is growing year over year as well. And your goal needs to be getting to $1 million EBITDA as quickly as possible, because that is kind of the benchmark for you to be appealing to an acquisition here in the near future. The positive news is that you're going to be starting out the gate with an operational blueprint, and that's what I'm teaching you here today. So you will be supported by that well-documented processes. You just need to make sure that you have and you're paying attention to those robust financials that can confirm that you're running a healthy business. And when you look at any of these other programs that are kind of the get-rich-quick schemes, they don't focus as much on these metrics. So this is the bread and butter of business development and acquisition and M&A here in this space. Positioning your agency for a future sale, it hinges on having repeatable processes that don't depend on you personally for every task. The playbooks and the SOPs from this certification will become invaluable. The gradual hiring of project managers, account managers, and salespeople will reduce what's called founder dependency, which in turn increases your valuation. The long-term relationships that you have with your clients also really, really matter. And ongoing AI advisory retainers equal predictable revenue and evidence of client loyalty, the kind of stability that potential acquirers really look for. So depending on your goals, you might choose to pursue a pure lifestyle model, or you might aim to merge, or you might sell to unlock a bigger payday in the future. Either way, planning for that possibility from the start ensures that you have options as your agency evolves. The key is recurring revenue, operational efficiency, and documented procedures. You need to give yourself the freedom to either stay happily independent or make a lucrative deal if the time and circumstances are right. And that wraps up Module 2, the Agency Foundations module, where we looked at the 3 different types of agencies. First, we had the custom development agencies, then we had the off-the-shelf tool specialists, and then we had the automation pros. We also reviewed why an AI strategy agency that's rooted in this AI stack methodology, it's an incredible competitive advantage because it allows you to be flexible and tool agnostic compared to your competitors. We talked about reframing the client challenges as opportunities and selecting a niche market, bundling and pricing your services for SMBs, and ultimately structuring your business for scalability or even exit. As you proceed into these next modules, remember that small businesses care deeply about ROI. They care about speed, and they care about minimal complexity. They want a partner who can navigate the entire AI ecosystem without being married to a single solution. And that's exactly the kind of consultant that we're shaping you to be. So that leads me to Module 3, AI Stack Fundamentals. We'll see you there.